Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of the Best of Smosh podcast. Today we're going to be talking about our top 10 favourite Smosh videos with my new friend PixelVideos. Now before we get started, I just want to say go subscribe to this channel, obviously. Pixel, go subscribe to him, link in the description, all the links, because there's going to be a lot of links throughout this episode. And also go subscribe to the brand new channel Best of Smosh, where all the next episode and the remaining episodes of the podcast will be uploaded to YouTube. So episode 2, 3, 4, all the way into infinity. So you can go check it out there. And I'm also going to go try and put it on podcast apps. So hopefully it's going to be on iTunes. Hopefully it's going to be on Spotify by the time this comes out. If not, the future episodes will be. So stay tuned for that. And also, I just want to say this podcast is not going to be a weekly thing. It's going to probably be about a monthly thing because I am a busy man. I'm a one-man show. I got a lot of busy things, not just on YouTube, in my real life as well. So I'm going to try to get it out as regularly as I can, but probably one a month. And I'm also, most of the time, it's going to be in correlation with a compilation. So if I put out a compilation, say Best of Smosh, well, this video is coming with the Smosh in Order compilation. So maybe I upload it the next compilation. Maybe there'll be a podcast with it. Hopefully, that's what I'm planning to do. So every time I put out a compilation, there will be a podcast episode with it. But that doesn't mean every time there's a compilation, there's going to be a podcast, and that doesn't mean every time there's a podcast, there's going to be a compilation. But that's what I'm generally going to do. But anyway, make sure you subscribe to all the channels, like the video, so I know to make more, and share the video to all your friends and all your fellow Smosh fam so they can check it out. Subscribe to Pixel because he was a really cool guy to actually come and record this with me. He lives in America. He didn't obviously fly to Australia, but we did through Discord. Sorry if the audio is a bit choppy. This is the first episode. We're still trying to work everything out, trying to get all the kinks out of the hose, But yeah, I really hope you enjoy. But anyway, let's get on to the episode.
I want to take a moment to say thanks for having me on.
That's all right.
I've never done this before, but I've always wanted to try to be on a podcast or start my own because I just like talking about stuff I like.
Yeah, this is my first time. Well, I've been on one of my friends' podcasts, but it was a pretty small podcast where mine is hopefully going to be relatively big. But yeah, this is pretty much the first time doing a podcast as well.
And I actually did want to ask, what is there any specific reason you picked me, or just kind of roll of the dice?
I did the Google form thing, and I had about 30 people submit to that, and I sort of just went through their stuff, and then I found yours. I looked at your YouTube channel. I saw some of your videos, and I thought they were pretty cool. So I messaged you, and then I think you were like one of the only ones that actually responded back. Like a lot of the ones I responded to, I'm guessing they just didn't see my message. So that was that was one of the reasons. And I guess I actually thought you would be a good person on, because there was definitely people that I saw that submitted forms, and I was like, yeah, okay, they probably wouldn't be the best person. So,
I mean, I submitted the form and stuff like that because I don't know, I just wanted to be taken seriously because it's a really cool opportunity, and I didn't really want to pass it up.
Yeah, well, hopefully this podcast is gonna be good with that, because giving people opportunities, because I am a relatively small creator where a lot of people that have big podcasts, you're not going to get little creators on, and hopefully I actually get little people maybe a chance to actually express themselves or even get themselves out there.
I'm definitely not at mid-size yet. I'm still really small.
Yeah, how many subscribers do you have on your YouTube channel?
147. And I do have a few videos that blew up to about a little over 1,000 views, but mostly the Doctor Who covers I did, as well as some Mario RPG stuff, like the final battle for Bowser's Inside Story.
Yeah, well, I was relatively small until like the start of this year, and until I had that big Best of Smosh Try Not to Laugh video that got what, I think 3 million views.
Oh man, that sounds crazy.
I know, like I couldn't believe it at first. Like I think I just hit at December last year at about Christmas time. I just hit 200 subscribers after doing YouTube for 5 years, and then I've just flew up.
I mean, I've kind of been looking for that big break. Recently, I've been thinking about doing a vlog type idea
Oh
where I
yeah,
just go around and try a bunch of new things and see how I like them.
yeah. Well, it's a good thing to experiment. I've definitely experimented with my content. I've gone from like at the start doing like Minecraft when I was like 11, doing Minecraft videos, to doing sketch comedy, to now doing the compilations that I do now.
I started uploading in junior year. No, it was going into senior year. So it was middle of 2016 is when I started uploading.
So how
Um,
old would you been then? Because I'm not here. I don't know. Junior and senior year different here in
oh yeah,
Australia.
sorry. 11th and 12th years of school. So it was when I was going into my final year of school before I graduated high school. So I would have been like 17.
Yes.
Um, and I've just been doing music whenever I can, but I sort of wanted something that could be more long form, unscripted, just like me trying things. Plus, vlogging seems to work if people take a liking to your personality.
Yeah.
It seems to help grow an audience that empathizes with you more than just putting out videos of music every couple months. There was a point where I tried to give like update videos, but I didn't really want to show my face. And those got like 2 or 3 views. And then when I did my thank you for 100 subscribers video a few months ago, that one got like 82 views because I showed my face. I think people like I think people like watching people talk instead of just listening to somebody with a still image on screen.
Well, hopefully people watch this podcast because it's just going to be a still image on screen, so
Yeah, but
it's a
you're
bit
actually
different.
interesting, so I think it'll
Yeah.
work out.
Okay, so I guess we'll get on to I guess the main point of this video. So, talking about our favorite Smosh videos. So to start off, I should ask, how long have you been a fan of Smosh for?
I've been a fan of Smosh since 2011 or 2012. That's why most of my videos are from that time period because those are a lot of the videos that I look back fondly and remember and have that replayability to me.
I
Like
sort of have sort of the same situation, but like I started watching Smosh in around 2015, so a lot of my videos are from early 2015 to 2017, 18. Because
mhm.
for me, that's my earliest memories of Smosh. So it's sort of similar.
And I sort of thought that I couldn't really after Ian took over, I felt like I couldn't really relate to anything that they were making. Because I'm definitely not like the cool type or the hipster type. I'm more of the quiet, geeky, nerdy type. So a lot of the stuff that they made, I really felt like I couldn't relate with. But I think that was probably Defy taking control and making them write stuff that they didn't really want to do. Because recently, when they've been independent or under Rhett and Link, their their recent therapy video was hilarious because they brought Dumpster Wizard in. It is one of the funniest videos I've ever seen, but I it's not on my list because I really don't think it has the same like replayability that old Smosh does.
Are you more a fan of the like Smosh games or the Smosh Pit or like the main channel?
I was a fan of pretty much all of their channels, and then now really the only thing that I watch anymore is Smosh Pit. Because I feel like their Try Not to Laugh that they've been doing recently is just pure gold. but before, like when they were writing more of their own stuff and when they were in control over more of their stuff, then really it was everything. You know, I still remember laughing so hard at watching them screw each other over in New Super Mario Brothers U.
So I'll get started with my. I didn't put mine in a sort of 1 to 10 because I couldn't really pick a favorite, but I'll just go with the one at the. I'll go with the one at the top of my list. So this video I believe came out in about 2017. It is We Play by the Rights squad vlog. Have you watched that video? Do
I
you
don't
remember that
believe I
video?
have.
Well, for people who are watching who haven't watched it, basically they play a board game called By the Rights, basically where they pick movie titles and movie prompts, and they try and make a movie, and they have to explain it to the judge, and the judge picks out the favorite. I think it is probably my favorite Smosh video, just because it's one of those videos where it's like Shane and Noah and like everyone they have characters and they're going into them very very deeply, like Keith with like Bobby from the block, like, which is probably my favorite Smosh character of his, just going wild in that video.
It's I love when Shane, Noah, and Keith can all just go wild and just kind of go off the deep end a little bit. Recently, the thing that really struck my funny bone, you know, with that sort of thing was Damien in the Try Not to Laughs. You know, he would do like a bunch of like just random super funny stuff and try to cram a bunch of random words into one act to make people laugh, and it would usually work. No, but I actually did something like that in high school. I did improv for competitions, so we actually had something like that. So that sounds really interesting. I'd love to see that.
We'll go on to your first video.
All right, I did. It was really tough to try and arrange them in sort of like a top 10 order, but I think what I have is pretty true to how I feel about these. My number 10 would have to be Ian's new car. This is a really old one. Have you seen that one?
I don't think I have.
It's where he had first gotten like his small blue car with the stick shift. So it's I'd have to say like one of the funniest moments of the whole video is you know, Anthony's trying to sell him this car and he's just like, this car can do auto driving, so you know, don't look and the car will get you to where you need to go. And so Ian's like, all right, and covers his face with his hands, and they're like going towards a trash can, and Anthony is like, oh no, and he like just steers the car away really quickly. He's like, that's enough autopilot for now, this car can only handle so much. And of course, one of the other funniest moments is at the end where Ian's like on the fence, but then he freaks out about the cup holder. He's like, "I'll take it." And I did watch, you know, when they were reacting to their old videos, and even sort of like out of character, Ian's like, "Yeah, that was definitely the coolest part about my old car." So that pretty much sums up number 10 for me.
Well, I'll go on to I will say number 9. Oh, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so I'll probably sound a bit nasally, so sorry about that. As we were talking about with Keith, Shane, and Noah, I'll go on to my number 9, Worst Celebrity Baby Names, which was the first episode of The Show With No Name, which had Keith, Shane, and Noah. Have you seen it?
I'm sure I've seen it a long time ago, but I don't really remember.
Yeah, I think it was like early 2016, even late 2015. So, yeah, it's one of the older ones. Well, at least on my list. I think the funniest moment in this video was definitely the Keith, because he wants his kids to have they have to start with a K. The name of their kid has to start with a K. So as he's trying to go, my kid is going to be called, and then Noah and Shane chime in with weird names that obviously he wouldn't call them, but it's just stupid. Like, oh, you should name your kid Cock with a K. Or like Olivia shouted out from the back, "Oh, you should name it Knife with a silent K." But
Oh, come on.
it's a very funny video. That's not the only funny moment, but that's probably the most memorable funny moment from that.
I'm just now realizing, like, the way you're explaining these, I've got to get this list and watch them all. It's
uh,
because I feel like I'm in for a pretty good list.
I think I will put a link in the description to a playlist of all our videos. So I'll put your videos and my videos in a playlist, so you can watch the videos I put down. I can watch the videos you put down, and people listening can watch all the videos if they haven't checked them out.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I have a feeling this is it's going to be a pretty rocking playlist.
Okay, do you want to go on to your number 9?
Yeah, my number 9 was, and I'm going to start laughing just thinking about it. It's the How to Stop a Burglar with Sergeant A News. Have you seen that one?
I think I have, but I'm not exactly sure.
It's like a PSA or like a how-to video where Ian dressed up as a cop is trying to give advice on how to stop a burglary or how to keep from being burgled. And he's like, that sort of like infomercial kind of thing that they do where they have the person standing in the foreground, and whenever they're talking, they freeze time. One of the one of the funniest moments is he's trying to tell you to lock your door. He says, "I use a simple acronym: always silently shut doors in case of kleptomaniacs." And he spells out ass dick, and he's like, "I think about it all the time." Always silently shut doors in case of kleptomaniacs. But it ends up being like really bad advice because he's like, it's like the middle of the video where he's like, if those don't work, then you need to learn how to defend yourself. So step 1, get this material and get this material, and it's all these materials to build like a complicated like potato gun. And it shows the person in the infomercial who's trying to not be burgled. It shows them like, and I think this is Anthony actually, where he's like holding all of these parts in his hands and he just can't hold them all. And the burglar comes up with a plastic bat and just whacks him. Or like somehow he gets it together, but the potato only flies like an inch, like, and stops at the burglar's feet. Oh, near the end he says, dress up like a burglar yourself. So then it shows the resident of the house dressed up as a burglar, and then the other burglar comes in and he's like, "Oh, I see you're already burgling this place. I'll go elsewhere." But then Cop Ian shows up in the scene, and because they're both dressed up like burglars, he kills the resident and lets the burglar go free, and then the burglar kills him, and he's just laying on the floor, taking a selfie as he's dying. Oh gosh. Oh man, please, if I don't want to say, if you can watch one video from this list, watch this one, but definitely watch it. Anybody. Like it deserves a lot of love.
I'll go on to my number 8. I'm going to actually change my number 8 to another one. A video I think you might know, but I'm not sure. Life Betterers.
Oh my gosh, this was my number 1.
Was it?
It's my number 1.
Well, I'll leave that actually, and then we can talk about that later, and I'll go back to the one I did have. So, okay, the changed one is 29,000 calorie domino mukbang. Now this is a video people might be like, a mukbang video? That's a bit of a weird video. It's not even like a comedy, but somehow they made it hilarious. It was, well, it had Shane, Courtney, Damien, and Ian, and I would have to say they're probably my 4 favorite, and they just made it so funny because, like, they're eating food because it's a massive mukbang they're doing, and then slowly, the longer it gets, the more like in a food coma they get, so the more like sort of drunk they get. So they're like, the what? They're like being absolutely stupid. Also, another video like that is the Olive Garden mukbang, which is a cool video. But anyway, but yeah, it's just them being stupid, which is really funny. It's basically like Try Not the Last video, but
drunk on food.
yeah, drunk on food.
Man, because I've definitely seen that video in my recommended feed, but I'm like, this is a little weird. But
Yeah, I don't think it actually has that many views. I think it's like less than 1 million because I'm like, people probably didn't want to watch it, but
I've definitely got to see it because it just sounds great.
yeah, there's also another video like that where like it doesn't have a lot of views because people don't click on it. This isn't on my list, but Notice Me Senpai Shane and Damien show. So they're originally playing a game, Notice Me Senpai game. I don't know what it's called, but they're playing that, and then the game breaks. So then they go to a Nidhogg 2 rematch. I don't know if you know what Nidhogg is, but so it just turns into that, and like I definitely put it in one of my compilations, and people were like, "Wait, what video is that from?" And I'm like, "It's from the Notice Me Senpai video." But like, they're like, "Oh, I never watched that because it was like Notice Me Senpai." But yeah, that's another video where like nobody watched it, but it's an absolutely hilarious video.
It's because I definitely a couple of these that you're talking about, I definitely remember seeing in my recommended feed, but I just never clicked on them because they looked like too weird or they look like they wouldn't interest me. But the way that you're describing it makes them sound hilarious.
Okay, so do you want to go into your next video?
Yeah, my number 8 is the Legend of Zelda rap.
Oh yes,
The whole thing from start to finish is just absolutely amazing. But especially the rap battle, Ian dressed as Link and Anthony dressed up as Ganondorf. I remember in the behind the scenes, he was talking about having to do makeup for like several hours just to get it all right.
yeah. I hadn't watched this video up until like a couple like months ago because on the Smosh cast they actually talked about their top 5 favorite videos, and they talked about the Zelda rap, and somehow before that I'd never watched it, and then I went and watched it, and it was absolutely amazing. It's such a good video.
Oh yeah, and like even the song itself is just really cool, with a really good beat and melody to it.
Well, they talked about it on the Best of Smosh podcast, but like it's like they spent tons of money on it, and you can tell like it's shot so well.
Oh yeah,
it's absolutely amazing.
I've got a couple more music videos on here.
I completely forgot about music videos because I definitely have like Smosh songs on my phone, but I completely forgot about putting them on my list.
Honestly, a couple of the music videos are just my favorite Smosh videos in general.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's I try to think about like every Smosh video I've ever seen, and my favorites from that. And there was absolutely no way I could forget about a couple of these music videos.
Well, definitely, because I didn't put any of the music videos on here because I forgot about them. But definitely, if I did put it on there, it would be one of my favorites. It's the Super Smash Bros. Rap.
Yes.
Definitely.
So good.
It would have to be my favorite Smosh song, other than maybe Mother's Day Rule.
Because Mother's Day Rule is really good too. But for the Smosh rap, not only is it for the Smash Bros. Rap, not only is it them sort of in a rap, like the characters in rap battles against each other, but they're also like fighting on screen too. So it's really just all the theming, from the video to the music to the actual lines. It's all structured where it's just a battle between all the characters throughout all of the elements of the video, and it's super cool.
I'll go on to my next, I think number 7, I believe. This is a video, it's Our Coffee Machine is Racist.
Oh, I think I've seen it, but it's been so long.
Yeah, I think it came out in 2017. Like, they were definitely trying out new content. Like, it's a video that's completely different to all their main sketch comedy videos. It's sort of similar to some of the videos that came out during when they weren't with Defy and they weren't with, where they weren't with a company. it was definitely a video that was like completely different. It was really good. So basically, Shane goes to get a cup of coffee. Coffee machine doesn't work. Flitz goes and gets a cup of coffee, and it does work. And then Courtney goes gets a cup of coffee, it doesn't work. And then Olivia gets a cup of coffee, and it does work. And then Shane comes to the conclusion that the coffee machine is racist towards white people. And it goes through his journey of trying to convince everyone that it is. And then eventually gets to the end that somehow, coincidentally, what a surprise, it's not racist. And yeah, it's just a video that's completely different to all the other videos, and I absolutely love it.
Man, the more you talk about it, the more I remember seeing it. And something that I didn't include on my list, but goes along with that sort of thing. It's when they weren't with Defy, but they weren't under Mythical yet. It was Guy Flawless. So their Dude Perfect parody.
Yeah.
So funny because I don't know what it is about just like the jump cut to random things going through hoops.
Yeah,
But it kills
like
me
it's like so stupid, but it's like funny as.
because Brian Regan, he has a new show on Netflix where he sort of does like his old famous stand-up bits, but he also films like sketches and stuff like that. I can't remember what it was called, but it's like the Brian Regan like show on Netflix. But there's this one moment in like episode 2, I think, where he was talking about, like, I want to see like true basketball shots, because like I want to know why they cut away. And somebody said back, like, well, they cut away so they don't have to have the actual actors make the shots. He's like, I know why they do it. I like seeing the real shots and not like the fake shots. Because if you do that, then any old schmutz can just, you can get any old schmutz who can't play basketball. And then it goes to him as the main character in the sketch who plays basketball. And it's like an infomercial or like an ad for this like pain relief cream. It's like for your wrists. And it shows him like applying it to his wrists, and then he makes the shot and it cuts to it going into the hoop. And then they start like listing various body parts, like it's for your back, and then he hits the ball with his back, and then it cuts to it going in the hoop. For headaches, and then he bounces the ball off his head, and it then cuts to it going in the hoop. And then the guy he's playing with is like super mad that he's making all these shots. He's like, what is this? Or he's like, I'm done. So then he like throws the ball at Brian, and it bounces off of Brian's chest, and then it cuts to it going in the goal. I just love stuff like that.
So we'll go on to your number 7, I believe.
Yeah, my number 7 is the Try Not to Laugh original. So before they came up with the sort of improv format, a few years ago, Ian and Anthony did more of a reaction to memes. Try Not to Laugh. So they basically watched funny compilations and tallied up how many times they laughed. It's something about Try Not to Laugh videos just get me. Like, where you're reacting to super funny memes, or also just seeing them like cringe at the really painful videos.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, I feel that. But I'd say this boy's got his free taco.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's hilarious.
And I agree with Anthony. It's just the way that it like splatters on the ground.
Yeah.
He's so like cocky about having a free taco, and then it's just gone.
Let's take a break. Do you guys like to help out? Do you like to donate to worthy causes? Well, go to my Patreon at patreon.com/RayStoryDoes, where you can get awesome perks for as little as $1 a month. But seriously guys, this stuff does take a lot of time, and your help would be greatly appreciated. So that's patreon.com/RaySoDoes. Link in the description. But anyway, let's get back to the podcast.
Was it Innuendo Bingo?
Oh yeah, might have been Innuendo Bingo.
Because that, I think that should have been on my list, but
That was
I
I was
think
gonna put that on my list, but I didn't.
I think it's in the same vein as their
Yeah.
own like reaction style. Try not to laugh. It's so great because Ian like has his head down, like trying not to laugh, and Anthony just spits all over his hair.
Spits in his hair. I think I'm on to my number 6, I believe. We'll go with $1 million but. This is a Bored AF video.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one.
So basically, they play the board game, $1 million but. Basically, like any card game, they say something. People put in a prompt, and then the person who has the card picks out the funniest. And then just again, it's just them being stupid, saying stupid stuff. The funniest moment is they were like, you get $1 million, but every time you watch a movie, your friends are in the movies. And then Jovan responds with, wow, that would make me watch so much more porn. And everyone was like, oh no, don't say that. It was so funny.
No.
But yeah, it's just another video where they're being stupid and everyone, and it's just like they have free reign to say pretty much anything. Just like I have another one on here. Definitely like the Jackbox and like the Cards Against Humanity videos. They're definitely like some of my favorite videos because they can just pretty much say anything.
Oh yeah, I've definitely watched them play cards. Super funny.
Yeah.
I think I've also seen them play a little Jackbox. That was also really great.
So now on to your next video.
My next video is very old. It's like one of their like first few episodes. Stranded on an island. It's just, I guess Anthony washes up on an island and he's just like writing in this journal. And probably the moment that gets me every time is just like Jamal threatened to eat himself. We all said that was physically impossible. And it's like day 57.
Yeah.
Jamal ate himself. But just the deadpan delivery, just like no change in his tone of voice. And then he's like, I don't think I can keep going on. And then he just like collapses. And then it cuts to like Ian and Anthony looking. Yeah. And it's a beach full of people.
Yeah. And you can see like no one's around them. Like there's a good like 50-meter span, and then there's a massive crowd. It's like everyone like was there, and then they were like, what are these people doing? We need to leave now.
Yeah, I remember them talking about it in their reaction video, the reacting to old videos thing.
Oh, yeah. I think they also talked about it because I think it was one of Ian's favorite videos. They talked about it on the Smoshcast video episode as well.
I just recently started listening to the Smoshcast, so because I hadn't really gotten around to listening to it, and then I started listening to it, and I'm like, oh, this is really good, because I already like, chill podcasts and, with really funny people, and it just seems to be more of that, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it.
Yeah, well, it's really good, because it's definitely probably the inspiration for this podcast. Well, this podcast was sort of a coincidence as well, because I've always wanted to do a podcast, and then for our we have like an exam, and we're doing not exam, an assignment, end of year assignment for our school, and we have to make a podcast. And I was like, that's the opportunity to make this podcast. So we had to analyze a podcast and then make a podcast sort of talking about that podcast. So I was like, I talked to the teacher and I was like, can I sort of change it and do this? And they were like, yeah, okay. So that's the inspiration for this.
Man, that sounds so much cooler than American schooling.
Well, I'm only in year 10. I don't know what that would be over there. Well, I'm about 16 years old.
It'd be sophomore. You're 16? My gosh. Yeah, because year 9 is freshman, year 10 is sophomore, year 11 is junior, and year 12 is senior. By that point, you're already mentally checked out. Man, because I remember I love like making things, making videos, music, various things. I've always loved making videos. Whenever we had like a really old video camera, I would always make videos and try to film them as if they were edited, so do like manual jump cuts. But I remember every time we had a like a school project that allowed us to make like a video or something like that, I would always choose the video. I'm like, I'm making a video because I just love it. It was always really fun to me, and I like the cerebral process of editing. I think editing is really cool.
Yeah, I enjoy editing as well. Well, this project, it was like we did get a choice, and I chose wisely. There was either do a podcast or do an assignment on Romeo and Juliet. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do a podcast. I don't think I need to listen to stupid Romeo and Juliet. So
Yeah, I think you made the right choice.
yeah. So on to your number 6.
Yeah, my number 6 was Stranded on the Island. What's your number 5?
Oh, my number 5. Oh, it's back to me. It's called We Invade Ian's House. So this is a video they did between when Defy shut down and they went with Mythical. So they were just doing videos by themselves. Basically, as the title says, they go through Ian's house. It's like it's a funny video. It's not even that, like, I wouldn't say it's one of the funniest videos I watched, but I just like enjoyed it.
It's I haven't seen that one. Really, I think the only video I've seen when they were kind of in limbo was the guy Flawless. So you're saying I'm missing a leg? Yes, it's the best day of my life.
Well, obviously, you haven't watched all the videos from that break, but like pretty much all of them are like, not pretty much. I was saying all of them are hilarious. Like you see, like occasionally with like every month or so, maybe there's a dub beat with the on all 3 of the channels. Maybe there's a dud beat that maybe not many people watch or I don't watch. But like during that period where they weren't with anyone because they had free reign, it was just absolutely hilarious every single video.
I'm guessing they had a lot of things that they wanted to do that they weren't allowed to. Like a
Yeah,
lot of
well, yeah, they
ideas
just
that they
had
wanted to get out there. Yeah, and then just like, oh wow, we want to do this and now we can. So
yeah.
let's do it. And I think they were much better videos because they actually wanted to be done.
On to your number 5, I believe.
My number 5 is
Number 5.
Try Not to Laugh number 22 with Rhett and Link. So I've been a fan of Good Mythical Morning and Rhett and Link for a very long time. You know, seeing the fact that Rhett and Link bought Smosh and is basically giving them the freedom to do whatever they want. It's like the ultimate crossover event of history, at least to my 15 or 16-year-old self.
I'm definitely a big fan of Rhett and Link. I've been watching probably nearly as long as I've been watching Smosh. Not like as frequently. Like I don't watch every single one of their videos, but I'm definitely a big fan of them.
Rhett and Link's, you know, how they became such good friends was, you know, just trying to make each other laugh all the time. So it's great to, you know, to be able to see that environment where they can, you know, see them in an environment where they can just try and make each other laugh, you know, because they love doing that. Also, the running whoopee cushion under the hat gag. And I think one of the funniest moments for me was Rhett comes out in sort of like a park ranger hat, and he's like, "Kids, let this be a testament to why you always wear swim trunks." And then Shane just spits violently.
I would definitely have to say one. I think my favorite joke is on that episode. Not actually by Rhett and Link. It's I think it was Shane's joke to Damien. It was the Disney Channel joke.
Oh
like,
yeah!
Hey,
oh my gosh!
welcome to whatever the Disney intro is, and then he threatens him with the thing.
Hi, I'm Shane Top from Disney's
So Random, and you're watching Disney Channel.
I will ice everybody in this room. I will ice them.
Shake It Up is next.
Oh my gosh, that part just absolutely killed me. Honestly, I'm so glad that one of your videos that was like the cold open.
Yeah, well, that's why I put that there because it was my favorite joke. That's what I usually do. Like my favorite video, I put as the opener before the intro.
My gosh, because that makes me die in hysterics every time I see it. But the actual like the actual point of the joke is that he is or was on Disney Channel.
Well, they both were.
Damien was too.
Yeah, he was on
What?
So Random with Shane. You got to watch one of the best of Smosh. Not best of Smosh. One of the Smoshcast episodes you got to watch is the So Random reunion.
Really? They did
Yeah.
that?
So they have two other guests. They have Matthew Scott and someone else, but they all four of them were on So Random at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching that when I was really young and just thinking that it was really funny. And then when I saw that Shane was first hired by Smosh, I'm like, isn't that the guy from So Random? And I'm like, what? I was really wondering about that. And then just Shane just openly making fun of it as he's like talking about how he'll ice everybody in the room, and just the way he looks into the camera, just trying to reaffirm, like, yes, I am Shane Top from Disney Channel's So
So
Random,
Random.
as he's staring into the camera, just trying to convey the ridiculousness of such a situation.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, I forgot that joke was in there, but it's and I've seen that video a few times already, but it just makes me die laughing every single time. It's even my friends who don't normally watch Smosh, I show them that and they just crack up.
I with my list, I definitely didn't. I didn't put any. Well, I didn't put one. I didn't put the music videos in, and two, I didn't put the try not to laugh videos in because definitely half my list would have been try not to laugh videos.
Oh yeah, I felt like the one exception I can make was the Rhett and Link one, just because ever since I discovered their Try Not to Laugh, mostly through your videos actually, ever since I discovered those, I've definitely rewatched the Rhett and Link one the most.
I don't know what one I would have write. Maybe the Gus Johnson one. I think episode 8. That might have been my one I've watched the most
I
because
don't
I'm
know.
I'm like a massive fan of Gus Johnson. I don't know if you watch Gus Johnson or know of Gus Johnson, but like I'm a massive fan of his, and that video is just absolutely hilarious.
And I think a joke in the Rhett and Link one that didn't get a lot of love was Courtney breaking down as she's
Oh
saying apple juice
yeah,
over and
apple juice,
over.
apple juice.
Apple, and she's just like shaking. I think a lot of people didn't laugh at that, but it got me real good.
I think that's I think that might be the case with a lot of Courtney's jokes. Like, they're like funny, but they're sort of awkward. Like you can tell when she's telling the jokes that she's like, but like they're still hilarious.
That's my number. What are we on? 5? Yeah,
5.
5.
Okay, so I'll go on to my number 4. My number 4 is Gross Candy Cane Taste Test, which is a
I've
Smosh Games video. Um,
I've seen this in my recommended feed, but
yeah,
like a lot of the videos you're referencing, I have clicked on it.
yeah. Well, a lot of mine are a lot newer than the ones your ones, but
Mm.
this video again, it's one of those ones with not many views. I don't even think I think it has less than 500,000 views. Like it has like barely any views. But it's just again, it's like all of my other videos that I pick. It's just them being stupid, tasting candy canes. Definitely the funniest. Some of the funniest moments were from it was Joe Beretta and Matt Robb. Because they were eating candy canes in partners. So it was like Ian and Flitz were together, Courtney and West were together, Shane and Mari, Joe and Matt Robb. But like, and they would they were all just being stupid. Like Matt Robb, like I don't know. Do you watch Valley Folk at all?
No.
Okay, well, Joe Beretta is a part of the Valley Folk. Well, Matt Robb, well, still part of Smosh Games, but they're definitely the like absolute funniest people that are like not in the cast.
I definitely know who Joe Beretta is because I've seen him on a couple other things, but not
Yeah,
Valley
yeah.
Folk.
I think he worked for Smosh from like 2015 to like 2018 as like just
Oh,
as
really?
yeah, as part he was like a writer and director, and also he like was in videos as well.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's where I know him from.
So you want to go into your number 4?
Sure. My number 4 is another music video. It's the worst idea ever. It's one of my favorites just because it has so many weird plot twists in it that just, he goes to the bathroom to check his phone, and then someone who looks like his date walks in, and then his actual date walks in, and then there's the weird creepy guy, and just all that. Also, just the sort of art direction for the video of it being sort of like stop motion. I don't know. I just think it's really unique, but also it does sort of tackle the real issue of like, oh man, who picks up the check? So it's really relatable. It stems from like a relatable place, and then it just eventually devolves into something super crazy and hilarious.
I think we have 3 more videos each. What we're going to do, number 2 and number 3, we're going to just quickly say, because we've nearly been going for an hour and we need to wrap this up. So, we play categories is my number 3, and uncensored 5-second rule is my number 2. So, do you want to say your number 2 and number 3, and then we'll talk about our favorite video?
Yeah. So my number 3 is the Ultimate Assassin's Creed 3 song. Really one of my most favorite videos on the internet, just because not only is it funny, but it's got great imagery with all the one part with all the cannons blasting just gives me goosebumps every time. But also Ian's rap breakdown is amazing, and it's just got such a great melody to it that I find myself singing along or singing it in my head, and I catch myself doing that, and I'm like, oh, I'm stuck on that song again. And my number 2 is Smosh Libs, the 2 Smosh Libs that they did. Trying to hold Anthony trying to hold back his laughter when he says "ratchet cop." Comes riding in on a bandage. Anthony's corny uvula trying to break him out of the bars, and Miley Cyrus getting shanked with a poopy phone, because it's just Anthony jamming a chocolate covered radio into his chest, while wearing this short blonde wig, and he like it's gonna be hard to explain unless you've seen it, but it's he like looks down and like points at it, and then like kind of shrugs like, ugh. So did we both choose Life Betterers for our number 1?
Yeah, we did.
When trying to think of my favorite Smosh video, nothing that I thought of could top Life Betterers, just because I think it's the perfect way that they could have just escalated the joke each time to make it become more hilarious, because it just escalates each time they do it. And them ragging on One Direction was absolutely amazing. Just to explain it, they're eating lunch or something like that, and they hear this woman crying back at her, and then they turn to each other and do that creepy nod at the same time, and then they go up to the girl and they're like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, I can't go to the One Direction concert." "Don't worry, we'll help you with what." Wait, what? Screw that.
Then
And
dumps their
then
food on her head.
yeah, and then they go away. Life better. And then Ian comes back and dumps the fries on her head
Yeah.
and gives her this like, what now look.
And like
Um,
the kid with the bike, where he's broken
oh
his
yeah,
leg. He's like, "We'll
yeah,
help," and then they
yeah.
fix the wheel and not help the kid, and then the bike falls on the kid as they walk away.
In the background, it's all bent and twisted. "Don't worry, kid. We'll make it better. Look, yeah. How could you ride your bike? Or now you can ride your bike with this new wheel."
Wheel. And then the messenger bag part with Ryan Todd.
Oh my gosh, yes, because I think it's the perfect escalation of like nothing can get any you can't escalate any more than that. But it's just such a steady build up to that weird plot twist. And normally I don't like shows that do that. Like regular show, they have like a simple premise that gets turned into the end of the world. They sort of like to do that a lot. I just didn't like that. I didn't like a big deal being made out of, I didn't really like them making mountains out of molehills. But with Life Betterers, I think it's actually perfect. And
Yeah.
I don't really know how they made it work for me. But
It's
also them. Oh man, and them like Ryan playing the
yeah,
playing the
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 guy.
innocent guy, him constantly correcting them. They're calling it a purse, and Ryan's calling it a
Yeah, they're saying
messenger
it's a
bag.
man person there. It's a messenger bag.
Whatever. We brought your little man purse.
And then yeah,
But that
they had
reminds
to
me,
he
yeah,
had he had to kill the guy, and then at the end they're like, "Do you feel better? Do you feel better?" He's like, "I certainly
I
do."
certainly do.
All
Yeah.
right.
But at first, it's like, you don't know where it's going to go because he's just standing there like, "Huh, do you
Yeah.
feel any better? I certainly do." Um, but that joke with the whole man purse messenger bag thing reminds me of the Mankey joke from If Pokemon Were Real.
I don't know if I
Have
watched
you
that.
seen that?
I know the video, but I don't think I've watched it.
Oh, it's great. They made like five of them, and I think the first three or four are absolutely some of the best videos I've ever seen. There was one, it was either in number two or three, where like, Anthony is dressed up as Ash, the trainer, and Ian is playing like the old man that stops him on his journey and tries to help him out, gives him like really bad advice. And Anthony gets into a wild battle, and he's like, "Look at that, it's a monkey." And the Pokedex is like, "Mankey." And then he just argues with his Pokedex. "No, look, it's a monkey, Mankey, whatever." He drops his Pokedex on the ground, and then later he like walks away. I sure showed that stupid monkey, and then in very faintly in the background you hear the Pokedex, "Mankey." Oh, so great. But man, I'm glad we. It was a real big surprise, but not at the same time because Life Better Earth is just such a good video.
Well, I think that's it. Nearly an hour and 5 minutes we've been going for.
Oh, nice. I was honestly worried that I wouldn't be able to say enough to sort of make the runtime okay, but
I thought the same thing. I was like, that's why I did 10 videos. I was like, oh, we might only go for like half an hour, so we better go 10 videos, and then we end up having too many videos.
yeah, I don't know.
Well,
It's just really good because nobody that I really knew personally was as into Smosh as I was.
yeah.
So it's really nice to be able to have somebody who could sort of share my love for this weird thing, um, and get somebody else who would talk about their favorite videos and help me discover new hilarious videos that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, well, I definitely had the same situation. No one really I know is like a big fan of Smosh like I am, so that's why I decided to reach out for people, try to find people. Found you, and we've done this, and it seems to be a good thing.
Yeah, this was super fun. I'm usually a little worried about meeting new people, or worried about being awkward. I guess a common interest goes a long way.
So thank you everyone for watching. This is a bit of a, I guess. Well, we haven't. This is our first episode, but this is a long episode because we're being over nearly an hour and a bit. So I do hope you enjoy. Thank you to Pixel for coming on. Do you want to shout out whatever you're doing? Shout out your YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, so I make a lot of music, and hopefully at some time soon I can start making vlogs of me trying new things that I've never. My YouTube is youtube.com/pixelvideos. So if you like video game remixes or original songs, then come check it out. My Twitter, I don't usually do much on Twitter, but if you want to follow me, it's at YT_pixelarts. And I also have you can join if you go to the channel or the YouTube. Currently, I think 0 active members. I think I'm an active member on that. So come, if you like my stuff, come hang out. It'll be fun, I hope. Make me a little less lonely, please.
Well, I'll put all your links in the description, so everyone go check him out. Give him some love. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you Pixel for coming on. Sorry to everyone for my awful blocked nose. You can probably hear it now because I haven't been able to blow my nose for an hour. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy. I'm hopefully gonna get another episode out soonish. This isn't going to be a thing that's out weekly because, you know, I have school, I have other things that I'm committed to, but I'm going to try upload one every month or so. So I hope you enjoy them when they come out. Give them a lot of love. But until next time, goodbye.
Bye.